Okay, so I just wanted to ask a couple of questions. Maybe if you like say your name and
Okay.
what you've done, and how many exhibitions you've curated, and yeah.
Okay. So my name is Kyra Kum-Sing. I'm a Malera Bundjalung Midakuti Dubbe from the northern New South Wales and also near Cloncurry, Queensland, so up in Gulf and Carpentaria country. So I'm a Guri and a Murray. I started curating exhibitions at the start of this year with Boomalli. And I did the Mardi Gras exhibition, and we featured over, I think it was about 28 artists, and it was showcasing the diversity between Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander gay LGBTQI community members who are also very much part of everyday life and who we are as people. And I guess it was good to get that one up the belt, and after that it seems like it's been continued, and I've been asked to curate a few more shows, so that's been good.
Yeah. Do you feel like, are there like any sort of, going into becoming a curator, have you felt any concerns while undertaking this sort of responsibility, or?
I guess with anything, I actually don't come from a typical arts background. I was a professional dancer by trade, actually, which
Amazing.
yeah, is completely
it's creative
different.
though.
Yeah, and I guess with that, I've been always around the community around Sydney, and also from where I'm from up north, and I guess it's about telling our stories and making sure that we're able to be able to show and highlight our diversity with every different aspect of it. And you do learn along the way, but you don't have much room for error because you've got to quickly get it up and running, otherwise the show doesn't get going. So just the most thing I always say is consistency and making sure you always follow up with what you're doing, and that helps with making sure the show gets going, especially with an exhibition. Yeah.
What's the best thing that you get out of curating other people's works, or even like building relationships with other people to make sure that their art gets shown in a way that they want it to be perceived?
I guess it's I think between especially with when I think about art, I think about the how I am, and growing up I've come from two worlds, and as a traditional custodian, and it's recognised within New South Wales and Queensland in the state, well, I guess it means that we can continue and maintain who we are as people. And I guess that's the beauty of this place, because we're New South Wales, we're highlighting New South Wales Aboriginal artists, and it's
especially
a great
seeing
space.
as Bronwyn just said that New South Wales, Indigenous New South Wales art hasn't been represented as much outside of New South Wales.
Yeah, I think there's a
so it's good to show, I guess, an ownership of it here.
definitely. I think there's that sort of myth that only real art is somewhere else in different states, and they focused on that, where you'll find that in New South Wales we've actually faced the forefront of the whole invasion and colonialism and all that. So I guess in that sense we've always been having to maintain it, because there's been always a different outsider or someone else coming in to try and take your homelands away. And what you were taught, if you were ever brought up in your family bloodline, is to maintain and know who you are. And I guess that's a really important part, and that's what makes it so strong with coming out with your artworks and what you want to represent.
And you can really see it in Boomalli, that sort of strong representation of great art. So
well, we try and keep it quite diverse as well, because everyone's so different, and you never know who comes into this place. It's what they like, and it depends if they really like the story or what the person's going through, the artist, and that they can come and talk about who they are. And it's good because we can sort of help them and give them more time to have an opportunity to showcase their works here.
Yeah, and Bronwyn was also telling about education, like educating the artists about their copyright as well. So
that's a really big part because with intellectual property and copyright, you could sit there for probably 3 years and still learn more and more about copyright and that. And I guess they're the little nitty-gritty things that you really get into and have a look at. But I was lucky, I did a few university units when I was at uni in copyright, so
I think it's important too as well to know your rights as an artist.
Oh, definitely, because you'll see when a lot of artists have passed away or stuff, some families don't actually get their, they don't have wills, so we need to make sure that if they're going to be this person and artist or whatever they want to call themselves, because I struggle with the word artist.
It's a bit broad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of really.
My little favourite term is, I reckon I'm a bit of a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And do a bit of this, bit of that, but so I guess that helps with this as well.
Yeah.
Being a fast learner.
Yeah. You'd have to be, I think, you know.
Yeah, all the little technical things like installing, making sure that everything's straight.
Installing is really, I feel like as a practicing like up and coming student artist or whatever, I underestimated installing completely.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hard process. You got to think about like framing. Is it like even? Is it like does it work with other?
Yeah, I guess that's the beauty of curating. I guess when you've got all the art pieces that are about to go on exhibit, you can actually look at them and actually see where they go without even realising. So I guess that the more and more you get into doing curating work and into the arts, I guess you get that better attention to detail, especially with how things are meant to be placed and that. So but it's if any young ones wanted to do art, I'd say it's a really great way to be able to learn a lot about yourself, and especially around with Aboriginal people, I can speak very strongly and say I know who I am and my identity and where I come from, but that's still a lot of things that a lot of other people really are still questioning with who they are and that.
Absolutely.
And I guess it's good to be able to express it through the arts and do it through curating.
Yeah, it connects you to your culture more
in
a way. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've always lived in two worlds. I've always had to live in the non-Aboriginal world, and then with my family and my mob, so it's a complete different space. But I guess that's what's unique about a lot of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, is that we can adapt and be able to change with, and also stand tall with who we are.
Do you feel like when you curate or when you're involved with Aboriginal art, it's a way to be within your world again, like within your family world? And
Well, I guess it really depends. Like a lot of the artworks I've done, I do a lot of mixed of both of my mum and dad's techniques. So I use parts of my mother's storylines and my father's, and I talk about my travelling journeys and all that sort of stuff as well. So it's to be always, and also making sure you can tell your dreaming stories as well. So, and it gets the younger ones in, and it's really good for them, and it helps them understand exactly what it means.
Just from what I've learnt from this critical theory study, Aboriginal art is like a traditional way of like connecting to the community, like connecting to your brothers, sisters, to like when senior elders talk to like their community. Do you feel like that is very much prominent throughout a lot of the works that you work with here, like that sense of connection and storytelling and
Yeah, I reckon you could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I can only talk for where I'm from.
Yeah.
Because I'm not Ragery, Kamilaroi or Ewan or... Yeah, so I'm not from down this way, but I'm northern New South Wales, so I can speak on behalf of my mum up there, but yeah, I'll tell you, majority of artists will start with a connection story, and maybe they're looking for pieces or something, but it just depends. I was lucky enough to be able to spend a lot of time with my elders, so I was lucky to be able to learn bits of my dialect and know my land and walk my country. So I guess they're the stories you tell when you're doing these art.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a way to stay connected to that tradition as well, you know, through your art.
Yeah, definitely. Although you do get homesick and you want to just take off up bush sometimes, but that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. All right. I just have some quick questions. Do you mind if I quickly ask you some of these questions? So what was the reason you became a curator within the Aboriginal and or Torres Strait Islander art world?
Okay. Well, it was... well, the way I walked into this was sort of by mistake. Yeah, so... well, I was working here, just doing Saturdays, and the curator who was originally doing the show was too busy, so they asked if I would do it because I was here, and I said, okay, I'll have a go, and yeah, it's been a journey since, and
wow,
yeah, so
what a great opportunity.
Yeah, and yeah, you